Video games and narratives has always had something of a strained relationship. It's easy to see why. We think of narratives as these static things that a viewer simply experiences, while video games revolve around player agency in an interactive system. However, as time has gone on, some video games have worked out ways to integrate the story seamlessly with the gameplay. My name is Patrick Mann, and today I'll be discussing one such game, drawing upon several of the theories of games we discussed in class. The game in question is Stellaris. Stellaris belongs to the 4X genre. That is, it is a strategy game that revolves around exploring, expanding, exploiting, and exterminating. The game allows you to develop your very own interstellar empire by creating an alien species and government, and then trying to control as much of the galaxy as possible. While Stellaris is not built as a narrative experience, it does allow for the player's actions to create interesting, varied, and potentially infinite narratives tailored directly to their experiences. To understand this, we turn to Salen and Zimmerman's theories of systems and play, in particular, games as narrative play and games as emergent systems. Emergent systems covers all the ways in which meaningful play can emerge from the interaction of complex systems within games. Narrative play regards the ways in which the experiences a player has while playing a game can form a narrative event. To understand narrative in Stellaris, we must have both of these theories in mind. Now, Stellaris doesn't have much in the way of static narrative. Your empire is formed, expands, grows in power, and either comes out on top or gets left to the dustbin of history. But it is in the details where things get interesting. Stellaris is, in terms of emergence, a very complex experience. Every choice regarding the details and strategies of the player's empire is taken into account. The experience you'll have playing as an empire of religious authoritarians is different than that of democratic technocrats, and both of them play very differently from a ravenous hive mind. These factors impact not only gameplay, but story as well. What little fixed story the game does has is impacted by these factors, meaning that different empires will react to the same events in different ways. Combining this with the story's very strong streak of procedural generation, and things can get pretty different from playthrough to playthrough. Stellaris is fairly unique in that it provides a means of unpredictably generating new player stories and experiences based in both choice and chance, and I feel this is an admirable trait. Moving from S&Z to Richard Rouse for a moment, one of his assertions about integrating story and gameplay is that, above all else, the story must be non-linear so the player can feel like they have an impact on outcomes. Once again, Stellaris is a shoo-in for this description. So I submit that, in the light of the theories of emergence and game stories we've discussed, Stellaris is a prime example of how a game can allow for the creation of elaborate, well-realized player narratives.